Hey, what is going on, guys? Xpertfusion here, and in this episode of Season 6 of The Walking Dead, it was actually a pretty good episode. So this was episode 5, and it was called Now. Now, this episode wasn't up to par with the first 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes were absolutely insane. Episode 4 was Episode 5 was, it wasn't amazing. Nothing crazy happened, but the character development within this episode is what made it be a really great episode in my opinion. So there's 5 certain characters that I loved in this episode. I loved the development of their character in this episode, and maybe like these 5 characters a lot more than I ever did before. So first of all, Deanna would be one. Of course, Deanna had that just total breakdown in this episode. She was just taking all her anger out on that one walker, and I thought that was really, really awesome, and it made me like her character a lot more than I did before. And how she's just terrified by the zombies. I love how the storyline's going with her character. I mean, people are calling her, baby and everything like that. But she, if you were looking at a whole herd of walkers coming towards your home, I think you'd be a little bit scared. And another character that I really liked in this episode was Deanna's son, Spencer. Spencer is getting development in this episode finally. He hasn't really got much development beforehand, but we're finally getting some development of him, which is a good thing because he's a good character in the comics, and I want to see him be developed throughout this series as well. Next character would be Denise. We saw Denise in episode 2, and we didn't get much of her, but in this episode we found out that she just decided to make out with Tara out of absolutely nowhere, and I thought that was pretty funny, and it was kind of weird in my opinion because in the comics, Denise actually dates Heath, which obviously doesn't really seem like she's into guys anymore in the TV show, but it is what it is. I think it's pretty cool how Tara's getting a new friend, or maybe more than a friend. I'll have to wait and see what they do with that. I don't know if they're gonna get into a huge relationship, but it gives them some sort of relationship. So if one of them dies, it changes the other character. So maybe Tara will die, and that'll do something good for Denise's character. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. The next character that I really loved in this episode was Aaron. Of course, he didn't get any crazy walker kills or anything like that. He did kill one walker in the sewers with Maggie, but I loved Aaron for his passion in this episode. His caring. He just cares so much about Maggie and the people in this town that he went out and decided to tell the whole town why the wolves came, and how it was basically his fault, and his courage to be able to do that was really awesome. And I just overall like this character a lot in this episode, and he's becoming up there in my top 10 favorite characters. I want to see more badass moments from him. Hopefully we'll be able to see that in the later episodes. Maybe during No Way Out we'll have to see, because Aaron I don't really think did anything crazy in the comics during No Way Out, but I hope this Aaron will do some crazy things, because I really like Aaron. He's a good character. His actor is really good as well, so that makes me like him a lot. Of course, one more character that I really liked in this episode was Jessie. Jessie is just always a great character. Her actor is just really amazing, and her little speech she had that kind of mirrored what Rick said to her, I thought was really awesome. And of course, one last character which I actually forgot to mention was Maggie, who is pregnant. So yes, every episode always does this, where they take a certain amount of characters and develop them more than others. And one character I was surprised to not see in this episode was actually Carol. I was surprised as hell that we didn't see Carol. I thought we would have seen Carol at least a decent amount in this episode. We didn't even see a scene with her, which I wasn't really mad about that, because I think it gave us more time to give the other character. It was a good thing. So yeah, this episode was great. We are getting into the last 3 episodes of the first half of season 6, and I think these last 3 episodes are going to be really great. So episode 6 is going to be a Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha only episode, and then it's going to be a pretty good episode, I would assume. Looks like Daryl gets lost out in the woods. His motorcycle runs out of gas or battery or something, and he is forced on foot in these sketchy ass woods and runs into some people, and these people aren't the best people in the world, because we saw in the trailer, he was being pointed at by a gun by one of the guys. Is this wolves? Is this just another group that's just scared of Daryl and maybe thinks Daryl's part of the wolves or something like that? that's what I was assuming, because I don't think these guys are wolves. They don't seem like they're wolves, because Daryl's like, I'm not who you think I am, and then the guy points a gun at him, and so I was thinking maybe these people have met the wolves before, and they think Daryl's part of the wolves, because, I mean, he looks like he would be part of the wolves. Wolves look all, like, scary, long hair and stuff like that, and I can definitely see them thinking Daryl is part of the wolves, and they tie him up, and they're like, you're definitely part of the wolves, and Daryl says, I'm not who you think I am, and stuff like that. So that's why I think they're pointing their gun at Daryl, and I think Daryl's going to get out of it somehow and be able to return home. Actually, I don't think he's going to return home. I don't think he's going to return home at all. But I don't think we're going to have the whole resolution of Glenn. I don't think it's going to happen this early. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys on my next one. Peace out.